Okay, so computers nowadays are sort of a way of life. We use them in everything we do. Every single aspect of life has computers involved in it, whether we like it or not. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but we kind of have to use computers. So I actually work as a computer support representative over in the JSB, so I work with the professors over there, and I've had the pleasure of helping them to remove viruses from their computers. And they're really old, well, not really old, but they're a little bit older than I am. So a lot of them have a little bit of trouble with this. So I've seen almost every kind of virus that you can imagine out there. So today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the different kinds of viruses and some of the myths and kind of about viruses and kind of dispel those myths. So, the first myth is that if you have an antivirus program on your computer, that you're safe, that you don't have to worry about getting viruses. And this is something that is not true at all, because most people have some sort of antivirus, some way to protect themselves from getting a virus, but if you click on something, you're still going to get the virus. They do a pretty good job of preventing it, but it's still really easy to get them. Second myth is that if you have an Apple computer, you're safe. And I've heard this a million times. People come to me and say, this isn't possible, I have an Apple, I have a Mac, I can't get a virus. So that's false for a lot of different reasons. The main reason that people haven't gotten a lot of viruses on their Macs is because such a small percentage of the population has a Mac. Just imagine if you were a developer and you were creating this virus to steal some people's identity and other bad things that viruses do. Would you target 3% of the population or 93% of the population? It's pretty easy to tell. So just because you have a Mac doesn't mean that you're completely safe. So another thing that I've heard is, why would I get targeted with a computer virus if I don't have anything important on my computer? I don't have anything that I'm worried about losing. I don't have anything that people would want to steal. So why would they target me? And the answer to that is because you have at least contacts on your email. You know people. And if a virus can get onto your computer, it can spread to other people's computers. And from there, it can just keep on spreading and spreading and spreading. So even though you might not have anything super important on your computer, you know people that do. Trust me, that it can get to them. So I'd like to show you a couple examples of ways that people get viruses, probably the most common ways, and these are through emails. Where's the There it is. So these are a couple examples. Let's start with that one. So this is an actual email. Professor Jenkins, that teaches information systems here at BYU, provided this, and it's a pretty convincing one. It says it's from the BYU.edu team. It's asking for your email username, your password, country or territory. So the way to tell that this is fake is it doesn't say your actual name, it just says BYU.edu email user. But it's pretty convincing. So don't respond to emails like this, go directly to the BYU website, or I've seen these for banks as well. Just make sure you go to your actual bank website. So this next one is an example of probably one of the worst kind of viruses that I've seen. So it looks pretty convincing, this just saying you need to update Google Chrome. So there's a professor here that did this, and he clicked on it, tried to update his browser, and instead of getting a browser update, he got this on his computer. So this is called ransomware. So this locks your whole computer down, gives you a timer right here. This is 95 hours, 59 minutes, and 50 seconds. And it makes it so you can't open up any of your files at all on your computer. And there's nothing you can do about it unless you pay to get the key to unlock your files. And the professor got this, and it spread to all the other files in the JSB. And so all of the files on the shared drive in the JSB got locked down, and they were all lost unless we paid for them. But that would be giving it to terrorists, and we don't want to give it to terrorists. So luckily we had backups of almost all the files. But this is a really, really bad example, or a really bad virus. So the point of all this is to be careful. It's really, really easy to download download viruses, and a lot of times you don't even know that you have them. Sometimes there won't be big pop-ups, it'll just be your browser, will actually be a different browser, but it'll look like a real browser. So when you type something into Google, it won't go to Google, but it'll go to some other different websites that'll look kind of like Google, but really it'll be phishing information and stealing your personal identity. So, in short, there are ways to protect yourself, and the best way is to have an antivirus program and really watch what you click on and what you download. If you have been infected with something, there are programs out there. Malwarebytes is the one that we use the most, and it's probably the best one out there to completely clean out your computer. But just remember, the best way to deal with viruses is to not get them at all.